Let's talk about transportation in Ukraine. If you're going to come and study in Ukraine, or if you're going to come and visit to Ukraine, whatever you want to do in Ukraine, okay, you're going to need to know how to get around. This is why I've decided to make a transportation video. Yes, bit boring, but I guarantee it will be very, very useful if you do ever come here. So give it a little like and subscribe as well while you're at it. Guys, if you don't know me, I am amyanna. I'm a third year medical student at Dnipro Medical Institute. I've just been here for 2 months, kind of now. I've been discovering lots and lots of stuff. One thing I think is very useful to know is transportation and the things I've learned about that. Quick shout out to Hussein. Didn't want to be in this video, he's a bit camera shy. Most of the stuff I'm going to say in this video, he has recommended to me. Obviously, I've discovered a lot of stuff on my own, you know, credit for myself. But Hussein has been amazing. He has given me like loads of info. So without further ado, let's go. Hey guys, it's amyanna and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about transportation in Dnipro, Ukraine. It's also kind of applicable to like going to other cities within Ukraine as well. So yeah, firstly, let's have a nice little map, there we go, of Dnipro. What I would say is it's a huge city, but at the same time, it's quite a small area. It's not like London or somewhere. Most of the stuff, if you live in the city, is in walking distance, okay? It's quite good. Just a few tips for students looking for accommodation as well. Here's the main city centre and here's the university. But if you're in later years, you don't necessarily need to be near the university. You want to basically be near the city centre because that's where everything is happening. So I'm going to go through the main ways to get around Dnipro, all the different types of transportation. And at the end of this video, if you just want to skip to it, I don't know, I'm going to give you all the most important apps you need to download that will help you with getting around basically everywhere. It's all about technology these days. What can I say? Okay, so number one, the trams. Trams are everywhere here, and the main tram you will get on is tram number 1. You can see on the map here, it just literally goes straight across the city and basically gets you anywhere you want. Trams are amazing. They basically run from 5:30 till 11, so 5:30 in the morning till 11 at night, and they only cost 6 greavies. I can't say it. They cost 6, which is like 15p, something like that. Just a little tip, when you're getting on a tram, when you get on, have a seat and the conductor will come round to you to get paid. You want to try and have change, they get a bit meh. Then they'll give you a ticket and rip it, and that means that's your ticket, and just keep that with you. You can go as far or short a distance as you want just for 6. That's literally crazy, right? The second mode of transport is actually trolley buses, which are like in between buses and trams. Basically, they're buses that run on the lines, the electrical lines. They cost 6 again, so same. And yeah, the conductor comes around as well. Number 3, buses, or minibuses as they like to call them. They kind of look like vans. Anyway, they're minibuses, and these cost 8. And you have to actually pay the driver as you get on. So you get on the bus and sometimes they just literally have the change there and you just put your money down and take the change, but they're looking. With these, there's certain stops to them, but at the same time, you can tell the driver, look, I want to get off there. And if you stand up and go to the door and just like point, I want to go there, they'll stop. So they'll basically stop wherever you want to go. Yeah. So they're the main 3 methods that you'll need to get around for a very cheap price in Dnipro. I'll talk about taxis later on when we're discussing what apps you need to download. Number 4, getting the train or coach. I've put a link in the description for the train and coach stations in Dnipro. Train tickets can be bought from any train station, but you do need at least some language like Russian or Ukrainian skills to buy these. So the best way to buy train tickets or coach tickets is online or via the app as well. So I've included the website and the app for booking train or coach tickets in the description below. You just need to make an account, book your train, book your coach, and you can do this by bank card. You'll then get a email confirmation and you might have to print that off. Basically, for each city in Ukraine, there's one big train station and then lots of little train stations. Yeah, you have to be careful when you are booking the tickets. For Dnipro, you want to be looking for this station, and for Kiev, this station. And again, I've included this in the description below. The coach or train is basically the best way to get to another city. For example, Kiev. When you get to Kiev, there is a bullet train that gets you from the train station to the airport as well. So that's good because basically the train station is about a 45-minute drive away from the airport. Number 5, a little note about the metro. So there is a subway around Dnipro. It is in use, but I wouldn't say it's very useful for students. That's advice from Hussein actually. At the moment, it is under construction and they are building more stops, more stations, which will be useful for students when that comes into play. A lot of people have asked, like, when is that going to be done? And they're like, probably never, so I don't know. What's the plan for that? What's the plan, Ukraine? I don't know. So last but not least, taxis. Taxis, number 6, taxis. Obviously, I've discussed all these cheap options, but then when you come to Ukraine and you realize how cheap it is to get a taxi, it is kind of hard to resist getting a taxi everywhere. It's literally so cheap. Your average journey will cost £1. For taxis, you need to download apps. Apps are the main way you can book a taxi in Ukraine. You don't want to be waving them down. Let's go through the apps you need. So firstly, Uber, so just English Uber. Possibly the easiest option because you're used to it, but not necessarily the cheapest. Secondly, we've got Uklon. Uklon is basically their version of Uber. I use Uklon the most. I like to be Ukrainian. Like blend in with the culture and use their apps. Then you've got Bolt. Bolt is another good one. Normally about the same price as Uklon as well. Next we've got On Taxi as well. Then we've got BlaBlaCar. Now BlaBlaCar is when you want to do a carpool. So when you want to share a car journey. Maybe if you want to go to another city, this is really useful. We've also got Opti. We've got Shark, we've got Taku, and Taku is an interesting one. I've not used it, but Hussein told me about it. You can set the price for your journey, which is a nice concept, but apparently lots of the drivers don't usually accept your offer. Yeah, it's already really cheap anyway. Yeah, so they're the main taxi apps you need to download. Yeah, find which one works best for you. With taxis as well, unless you've got your card linked to it, again, just pay it in cash, but make sure you have the change because they don't like to give you the change. They'll be just like, oh, I haven't got it, and then what can you do? Other apps you want to download, obviously Google Maps works fine here, but I found with Google Maps, say if you're planning a journey, especially on the trams, the timing isn't very good. It always overestimates the tram length. So it will tell me that it's going to take half an hour and it literally takes 10 minutes. Also for walking around, Dnipro, it's not flat, guys. You know, when you're on Google Maps, it's just like, oh, it's just a little walk. And it's uphill. There's quite some steep inclines around the city, so take that into consideration as well. The second app that I recommend is Easyway, recommended by Ali. Shout out to Ali. So Easyway is probably the best transportation app for Ukraine because you can plan every journey. You can choose what city you're in as well. Easyway will calculate the journey time much more accurately, and it also gives you so many more options. Google Maps doesn't seem to know about like some of the trolley buses. Obviously, you can get a car here. It's cheap, but I don't know many students that have got cars. I miss driving, obviously, but it's just not worth it. Like, I don't think I live close enough to my tram stop and everything. So yeah, it's good. So Amy's golden tips for transportation around Ukraine. Number 1 is beware of pickpockets and crime. When you're on the tram, I always have my bum bag with everything that I need. I haven't had any problems so far, but you just don't know. Just be careful. Also, don't worry for guys. Man bags in Ukraine are very fashionable. Literally all guys have like a purse or a man bag. They all have it. Guys, get yourself a man bag. Number 2, most of the transport that I've mentioned today, they come pretty much like every 5 minutes. Trams every 5 to 10 minutes, and buses, etc. So number 3, yes, I said the taxis are really cheap, but the tram is sometimes quicker because the trams have their own set line, so they're not as caught up in the traffic as the taxis. So have a think about that when you're trying to get to your 9 a.m. lecture. Okay guys, I think that's quite a lot of information, but that's basically everything you need to know about getting around, transport and everything in Dnipro and traveling to other cities wherever you go in Ukraine. If you have any questions, please comment below. Anything I didn't cover or you want me to cover, video recommendations as well. I will be doing lots more videos, don't you worry. I've had a few offline classes now, so I'm going to be slowly putting together a video of around the university so you actually get to see the uni and everything here, because I know a lot of you want to know that. I'll be doing a video soon as well about nightlife. We've been trying out a lot of clubs and bars and eating out and everything like that, so we'll have that to share with you guys. Thank you so much for watching again, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I'm also on Instagram at amyanna. Give me a DM if you have any other questions. I'm also over on TikTok, a little bit crazy on there, as you know. Anyway, guys, until next time, bye.